The final game of round 3 of the United Rugby Championship has brought us to sunny West Wales, to the tin town of Llanelli, where the saucepans will be boiling this afternoon as the Scarlets host Munster. 5 changes for the Scarlets. Back comes the Sheriff Ken Owens. Ashley Lloyd, in the second row on loan from the Ospreys, makes his debut, as does Gareth Davis as well. He returns from Lions duty as well. It's a completely different story for Munster. 11 changes for the visitors after they got a second bonus point victory in the URC campaign against the Stormers in round 2. Finian Wycherley and captain Jack O'Donoghue, the only survivors in the Munster pack. Neil Cronin, Liam Coombs and Matt Gallagher make their season debuts in the backline, but they do have some experience on the bench and they're showing their squad depth at Munster. John Ryan, Kevin O'Byrne and of course the South African giant international R.G. Snyman. And here come Munster to Parc Scarlets, unbeaten, 2 bonus point victories in the URC, led out by captain Jack O'Donoghue. One of only 2 members of this Munster starting team that have scored points. He scored 2 tries, and Ben Healy, he's got 10 points. He's got 2 penalties, 2 conversions. We're waiting for the home team, and here they come, led out by captain Jonathan Davis. He's in the centre alongside Scott Williams, a famous Scarlet partnership, reunited this year with Scott Williams' return from a troublesome spell at the Ospreys. And there is the Sheriff, Ken Owens, back, and how the Scarlets have missed their talisman, a ball carrier and a leader as well. Another Lion returning, Gareth Davis at scrum half. Man in the middle is Ben Blaine from the Scottish Rugby Union. He's a Carlisle man, but associated with Scottish Rugby, former scrum half himself. She'll have plenty to say. All scrum halves have plenty to say. Scarlets will start this one. Sam Costello will get us underway in the final match of round 3 of the URC at Parc Scarlets. It's a long start. Back she goes. Cleared by Ben Healy. Up towards halfway. I've got Philippa Tuttiett, former Wales Sevens and Wales international alongside me. Sunday afternoon rugby in glorious sunshine in October, Philippa.
Absolutely gorgeous. It's a day like today that I miss playing. It doesn't last long. As soon as there's a big collision, I'll remember why I retired.
There'll be plenty of big collisions, I can assure you of that. Early error from the Scarlets, carrying Dan Goggin. It's going to be a contest at the breakdown. 11 changes, Philippa, for Munster. What do you make of that?
Yeah, very interesting, that one. I think you could say that Munster are going to be looking ahead. They have a very important derby game next round against Connacht, and the way that the URC works out now, we know how important those games are. It is a tight turnaround, only 6 days for Munster. So potentially an opportunity for them to test their strength and depth. But coming down to a Scarlets team that are playing this high-tempo rugby, bolstered with some Lions, it's going to be a difficult ask for them to try and come away with a win, but a great challenge for Scarlets.
Munster were sitting top of the URC table before all the round 3 matches. They've drifted down to 4th. But they've got this game in hand. First scrum, always important.
Set.
Scarlets front row, Rob Evans, Ken Owens, Samson Lee. I can't quite remember the last time they all played together. Various injuries and ailments. That's a great 50-22 from Ben Healy. Obviously targeted that. They tried that, Philippa. No luck involved there.
No, absolutely. And of course it's going to be Ben Healy. I mean, people will remember the last time Munster came down and Ben Healy scored that massive penalty at the end of the game to secure the victory. So him just showing that he's still got that strong boot.
Stay out in the middle.
Yeah, that kick from hand with the new law variations, the law trials,
We're inside.
gives Munster
Lads, I need you to form quicker.
the possession as well for this line.
Back you go. Back you go.
Dermot Barron, his first start, like many other Munster men today. The Gary Owen man. Good contest by the Scarlets, but I think that Wycherley had his mitts on that one. Is that Clougherty? Yes, so abrasive is Chris Clougherty. Scarlets have been preparing potentially for a different Munster team to the one they're facing today.
Don't go looking.
Stephen Archer with a carry. Lovely line. Oh, he's through. We have a first score early on. Just 3 minutes on the clock. And Jack O'Sullivan opens the scoring for the Munster men.
Well, you know, that is why you've got to love and hate this new 50-22 rule, because it does give you such a good attacking opportunity, being able to get the ball back, having an attacking line out. But here you just see Scarlets getting a little bit exposed around the fringes. This is all too familiar for me against Edinburgh. We saw how Scarlets got exposed around the ruck edges. So that will be a disappointing one for Dwayne Peel to see happening again. But it shows that Munster have done their research.
Yeah, Scarlets thought with 11 changes it was going to be easy. Well, they've got another thing coming.
It's never easy with these Irish provinces. You know, they do have that strength and depth.
Munster fans at Parker Scarlets as well. Ben Healy with the extras. Just over 4 minutes on the clock. And Munster are ahead by 7-0 against the Scarlets at the Park. And this is the reason why. Ken Owen's just coming back into the starting lineup. You know, unfortunately, you get no time to prepare. You've got to hit the ground running.
Yeah.
Healy under pressure from Gareth Davis. He's absolutely clobbered. I think he's all right. Nothing wrong with that. Where's the ball? Callum Afoni at the base to Scott Williams. Thompson, oh, almost freed his hand. Retaining possession. Costello to Lloyd Ashley, the man on loan from the Ospreys. Not sure what all Scarlet fans will make of that. Scott Williams, man who's returned from the Ospreys. Callum Afoni, what a carrier he is, Philippa.
Yeah, he's been such a good signing from, isn't he? And not only his carries in attack, but his defence as well, his tackle count. He'll be up there with the back rowers, you know, up there with the scores you'd expect to see from the open side flank.
Well, the first chance for points. Scarlets have elected to go for the sticks. They want the three-pointer. This is the charge down.
It's, should we call it acrobatic?
Well, you're looking at it again. It could be classed as a bit reckless.
A little bit reckless. I think he's got away with the fact because he was in the air for so long, he couldn't actually pull out or change his line. But he certainly makes contact well after the ball has been kicked away.
His saving grace was that he made contact with the ball. That's a nasty little pull there from Sam Costello. It stays the Scarlets 0, Munster 7, a missed penalty from the Scarlets outs in half. No excuses today, Philippa. It's perfect, isn't it? Conditions a little bit blustery, but generally superb for Llanelli in October.
Yeah, and you know what, as a defensive team, if someone elects to take a kick that quickly against you from a relatively kickable position and they miss it, it gives you a little bit more free rein. You know that his confidence is going to be knocked now, so I think Scarlets will elect to take another penalty as quick as they can and make sure they get it over.
Munster retaining possession again from the 22 restart. Got no big screen at Parker Scarlets today. They're having some issues there. So it will be interesting for the TMO, Neil Patterson and referee Ben Blaine to communicate. Sure, you'll find a monitor somewhere. That's palmed back by a Munster hand. Winning the aerial battle at the moment. Good play out wide as well. Calvin Nash involved twice in the movement. Neil Cronin, his first appearance of the season from the Limerick club. Healy caught in some traffic. In comes Matt Gallagher to play 9. Cloherty making yards again, brought to ground by Blade Thompson. Well, that's worked out for Munster. Is that Nash again? Yes, it is. Breaks 1, 2 tackles. Eventually brought to ground by Lloyd Ashley. Jonathan Davis competing. Ooh, almost got his hands on that one. Did the Scarlets captain. Healy looked for a gap, but it wasn't there. Munster quite happy to change the direction of attack from ruck. They'll go left, they'll go right. Ball in hand. Here comes Liam Coombs. Stephen Archer. 232nd, I think, appearance for Munster. Scarlets with all the defending early on. And let one score in, straight through the middle. Jack O'Donoghue. But a bit slow to move was Sione Kalamafoni. Options for Munster, Philippa?
I think confidence for them should be high at the moment, so I'd like to see them kick for the corner. Depends how strategic they want to be with this. Now they're going for the sticks. They were lucky there with that phase of play. There were a couple of times where they could have easily lost that ball.
Yeah, Kalamafoni, he kind of fell and dived over.
Yeah.
And wasn't quick enough to move. But I'm sure Munster making 11 changes. If Ben Healy kicks this, they'll be 10-0 up with 10 minutes on the clock, Philippa.
It's a very good way to start, isn't it? And Ben Healy, he's certainly going to be wanting to prove his worth. We saw him a couple of times last season just coming off the bench, but he really wants to be challenging Joe Carberry for that starting position at fly half.
Flags are up. So there we have it. 10 minutes on the clock. 10 points on the scoreboard for Munster. They lead the Scarlets 10-0. Costello with a restart. It's gone into no man's ground. And it will be a Munster line-out. No one wanted to take that one, Philippa.
No, I think frustrations on both sides for that. Definitely was not as fielded as well as it could have been. An earlier name needed from Munster, and when you chase up the Scarlets, then we're all flat. There should have been someone just back in the pocket, ready for that recoil of the ball.
With the Scarlets potentially preparing for a completely different Munster team, you know, a fully loaded Munster one, do you think mentally that'll have an effect on this starting 15?
Potentially, but you know, this is still going to be a brand of Munster rugby, their culture, their type of rugby that they want to play. We know it's keep it tight, strong carries, they're going to kick for territory, and they're going to use their line-out maul. So it shouldn't really be too confusing for Scarlets.
Tackle!
What is confusing the Scarlets at the moment is the ball in the air, because they can't win a contest, but they have won a second penalty. Just a little angle there. Maybe it was Dermot Barron. Just come in from the side a little bit. I think the Scarlets this time will go for the corner.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but look,
And that's got the Scarlets quite close in there as we see the replay. Yeah, just to clear out, just the angle. World Rugby want players to stay on their feet. Can be very difficult sometimes. But that penalty and the kick from Costello has given the Scarlets a good platform. Lloyd Ashley with the take at the front. Looking to drive and shift this one on. Ken Owens has got his mitts on it. But they're not moving, they're not going forward at the moment.
Don't change.
Stephen Archer swivels out of it. Now the Scarlets get moving.
One out!
Loughman told to move. Does he listen? Where's the ball? That's the question. Ken Owen still kind of has it. It's a bit messy at the base there. There's another penalty against Munster. It's a free play for the Scarlets. Long ball out, McNichol. Man outside is Steph Evans. Is he in? Will they have a look at it? Hand is not in the air yet. The try is announced around Parker Scarlets, but it's not given yet. We'll have to have another look at this. It was a free play, wasn't it, Philippa?
It was. But you know what? There are so many aspects of that play that I am loving. And they are going to check this, but there was such good work rate from Ken Owens at the base of that ruck.
But we're obviously on a penalty advantage. We just want to check touch, please.
So they're just going to be looking at the touch.
Let me deal with this, and then we'll... If there's a knock-on, it'll be picked up.
Yeah, Ben, I've got you. We're going to go back to
I don't know if Jack O'Donoghue thinks that the captain's challenge is still there, because he's telling the referee, Ben Blaine, okay, they've got a knock on you. Well, he's not going to challenge. I'm not sure how far they'll go back. Ooh.
I think there's a knee in touch. Steph does everything right there. He gets airborne. That is a great defensive tackle, isn't it?
It is so close.
Okay, mate, so we deal with the breakdown first.
Yeah, we're
it's put in touch there, Philippa, isn't it?
I'm just waiting for the view of the last breakdown. The player is in touch, but we're going to go back to and have a look and see about the knock on.
So they're going to be looking here when Ken Owens presents the ball. He kind of gets pushed backwards, and he still has contact with the ball. But whether they're going to deem that to be a knock on will be interesting. Well,
I don't think any of the officiating team picked that up. So that's, you could look at it as good captaincy from Jack O'Donoghue.
There.
Well, there's the penalty that Ben Blaine did see.
Okay, Ben.
Yep.
So we do have a knock on the ground by 2 red.
Yeah.
Okay, he's just coming now. The ball is then propelled forward, and that's before 1 black then comes in the side.
Well, that is perfectly explained by the TMO, Neil Patterson. It has gone forward. And how would you describe that? Good captaincy by the Munster captain, Jack O'Donoghue?
Well, hey, you know what? Referees do say they are open for communication.
No, because the penalty offence happens after the knock-on. So it's a scrum to blacken it. All right.
Yeah, like I say, they do welcome communication. Play was stopped, so that is the appropriate time to approach the referee. And, I mean, obviously the try wasn't going to be scored anyway, because unfortunately Steph Evans was in touch, but he certainly brought it to the forefront of their minds. Initially, I thought Ken Owens did very well. I thought he managed to remain in contact with that ball, but unfortunately it was that separation which then deems the knock-on.
Would have been interesting if that try was scored by Steph Evans in the corner. But it's history, it wasn't. It's going to be a Munster scrum. Munster playing in the away kit, in the black kit.
Bind! Set!
Pressure coming on from the Scarlets, but the Munster scrum reacts well, but now a secondary shove. Oh, not a popular decision at Parker Scarlets, because Ben Blaine has deemed that Rob Evans has come across on the angle. Well, it's the other side that we'd like to see. It's always a tussle. Seen them reset, go again, but there we go. Scarlets no try, no penalty. Went back for a knock-on, then a scrum, then a penalty to Munster. And it'll be Munster ball in this line-out. Everything going Munster's way at the moment, as we see a few members of the Welsh coaching team there. Are they all there? I think they are.
Yeah, it certainly is, and the one thing you would want from Scarlets is for them to start well, start with that high tempo. I mean, that's what Stormers did to Munster last round, and they really reaped the benefits. But at the moment, you have to say, Munster are probably feeling quite in control.
Cloherty, he's carried 3 or 4 times already, and we've seen Neil Cronin do this, and we'll see Munster contest, but they haven't managed to gather that one the first time. Tom Rogers does exceptionally well, and here goes Callum Mahoney on the charge. And Munster a bit slow to move. Ben Healy found himself on the wrong side. He's a big man for an outside half. 6'4". What's he doing playing outside half, Philippa?
He is. I'm gutted he's cut off the curls, though. I did really like his full head of hair last season.
The locks are gone.
The locks are gone.
And from the penalty, the Scarlets have decided to have another shot at goal, another chance for Sam Costello.
Yeah, this needs to be done. After missing that earlier penalty, he needs to get back onto the ball straight away. Get this over, get his confidence back up. And it's also then just a little warning shot to Munster that Scarlets will take the points if they are on offer.
Great take by Tom Rogers in the air there. It's the first one they've actually won.
Yeah, Tom Rogers has been playing well, hasn't he? I think he's going to want to be building on his international campaign from the summer. He certainly wants to make sure the Welsh coaches are taking notice of him.
This man will want to catch the Welsh coach's eye as well. Much, much happier with that strike. No problem, straight down the middle.
Nice.
Scarlets are on the board. Dwayne Peel, the man in the middle there, head coach of the Scarlets. He'll be slightly happier, Philippa, because it's the Scarlets 3, Munster 10.
Yep, slightly happier. Earlier frustrations with the defence, but Scarlets are now on the board. It's all about possession against Munster. You have to keep hold of it, and at the moment, Scarlets barely had any.
Yeah.
Healy with the restart. That's a good one. Ooh. Jonathan Davis collects the ball, and Fineen Wycherley as well. Gareth Davis told to use it. You'll have to watch that little fake he does with his head, because I've seen scrum halves penalised for that. Great offload from Gallagher. Munster back into the Scarlets half. Cronin with the kick. Where's that one going? Whose hand touched that one?
Knock on into touch, lads. To knock on into touch.
I think it's gone off. Hey. Blade Thompson.
Scrum. It's off. Sorry.
Yeah, I thought it came off a Munster
hand. Line. What do you want, lads?
Here we go.
Okay, let's have a look.
There, Munster
it was. Yeah. Who was on the chase? Was it Shane Daly? I think it was. Another 6'4" back. What are they eating in Munster? That's what I want to know.
Keep that patience for me, lads. Just come to this side.
Well, the outcome is a Scarlet scrum. 18 minutes on the clock. Scarlet 3, Munster 10. First score for Jack O'Sullivan.
Set.
That's on the deck. Well, it was going to be a reset, I thought, Philippa, but...
Well, you know, fair play. There's certainly no messing around at these scrums today, is there?
Well, World Rugby don't want resets. No. That's the last thing they want. They want the game to be sped up, you know, so... Yeah. Sometimes they might get decisions wrong, but one thing it does, it gets the game going.
Here we are, lads. Watch your mark, fellas. Pull them out, please. More.
The Scarlet scrum just in the Munster half.
Step out.
Scrum? I said scrum. This is a line. They do win possession through another man returning from injury. He had a back problem after the Edinburgh game in round one. Aaron Shingler is back in the second row. His preferred position, I believe now, Owens to Callum Mahoney. Callum Mahoney into traffic. Good defence by Claude there. Here's Shingler. Got a feeling he'll have to do a lot of that.
Stop in front.
This one's going up into the sky. Clear blue sky in Llanelli. No contest from the Scarlets. Munster reigning supreme under the high ball at the moment. Dan Goggin with the kick. Sam Costello finds his opposite number. Great take by Ben Healy.
Great take.
Oh, what a beautiful sight that is. A spiral, Philippa.
An old school spiral. Well, you've got to say the conditions are absolutely perfect for it. It is going to travel.
There's a good crowd at Parc Scarlets making plenty of noise.
Stay out.
Not had too much to sing about in the opening quarter. Line not functioning again. Shingler the target. Scott Williams. Don't think there was any crossing there because Dan Davis ran alongside him. Callum Mahoney with another carry. Rob Evans hits a good line. Slow ball for Gareth Davis. Costello. Jonathan Davis. Good line speed from Munster, Philippa.
Yep.
7.
Maybe nudging up a little bit quickly that time. Costello, oh, it was a lovely offload to Rob Evans. He was through the gap, but no problems defensively for Munster. They're keeping their shape, Philippa, their discipline as well. They're right on the edge, aren't they?
They are, and you can see there they've been given a bit of a free rein. If you reckon you can make a spot, hit, tackle, get up in their faces, which is exactly what we saw then. Just forcing that little, maybe slightly nervous pass, which unfortunately couldn't go to hand.
Okay, I need good height here.
Johan van Graan,
And we need patience
the
for
Munster
that ball
head
coming
coach.
in. Nothing early, lads.
He'll be happy.
Gotta
Made
hold that
so
weight.
many changes. 11 changes from the team that beat the Stormers 34-18 at Thomond Park.
Crouch!
They've started with 2 South African provinces. Maybe a good time to catch them.
Just come up, boys.
Yeah, absolutely, seeing as they haven't got the benefit of their international players. So obviously they've come off their Southern Hemisphere Championship.
Let's go again.
And they seem to be improving as well into round 3. You know, they've 2 of the sides have won in Wales. You know, they're looking good.
They are. I think they're learning how to play Northern Hemisphere rugby. They're certainly learning how to talk better to the referees as well.
Well, they're also on tour, aren't they? No, so you're going to get better. You're constantly working together in a tight group, so you're going to get better.
Absolutely.
Set.
It's a Munster scrum. It's a good old scrap at scrum time. Munster are on the floor, told to use it by Ben Blaine. Cronin changes direction. Long, long ball out, finds Calvin Nash. He has a go at Steph Evans and beats him. Try number 2 if the ball is good. And it was. In strolls Liam Coombs. Nobody in front of him. And a second Munster score.
That is a great try, and not one you would say is typically Munster style, but this is something that Munster are looking to work on this season. As I referred to earlier, traditionally they are a keep it tight, kick it long, go for that line out, but the expansive game, this is what they want to look to develop. They created a couple of opportunities for themselves in round 2 against the Stormers, but weren't clinical enough, whereas that, pinpoint accuracy, cool, calm communication, just getting that inside ball away. Really nice linking play here.
There's the finish from Liam Coombs.
Good turn of pace there as well, wasn't there?
Yeah, Coombs, a name he's doing rather well in Munster colours with Gavin, his cousin as well. But it's Liam, the centre, crossing for a second Munster score. Scarlets look in a bit of shock at the moment. Coming up to 24 minutes on the clock. Ben Healy with a conversion attempt to make it Munster 17, the Scarlets 3. Perfect off the tee so far. He turns quickly, always a good sign for the kicker. And it is the Scarlets 3, Munster 2 tries to the good, 17.
Very strong performance so far from Munster, and when you do acknowledge the fact they've made those 11 changes, you had to say that Scarlets were definitely the favourites coming into this. Don't get me wrong, we're only 25 minutes in, a lot can change, but things need to happen quickly for Scarlets before this game gets out of reach.
Completely agree with Philippa Tatiet alongside me. Things can get away from you rather quickly in rugby.
Timing, fellas.
And the truth is, Philippa, the Scarlets really haven't been in the game at all.
No. Possession, they've got to hold on to the possession.
Well, hold on to that. Johnny McNichol did. took that well in the air. Comes Rob Evans on a carry again. Can't quite get over the gain line. He's got to be careful. Johnny McNichol taking a bang as well, so the Scarlets are a man down. Lloyd Ashley thundered to the floor in midfield by a combination tackle. There's some numbers out wide here. Dan Davis there as well. Jonathan Davis cuts back in. Good defence again, and Chris Clotty has pinched that one. First man in, and here come Munster. Barron the hooker. Oh, he's dancing around and kicks it through. Who's on the chase? Jack O'Donoghue after this one. Oh, has that gone forward? It's in another Munster hand. Oh, almost an offload to Jeremy Loughman, who would have spoken about that try for years and years to come if it had gone to hand.
Vantage knock on. Vantage knock on.
Scarlets are still a man down.
Vantage over.
Was advantage. That advantage is over for a knock-on. But Munster, Philip, are so dangerous on the counter, and great work by the open side, Chris Clotty.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic work at the breakdown here. I just mentioned about his possession is key, and they've just not got enough Scarlets bodies there to protect that ball. But talk about taking advantage of your turnover. I mean, look at this turn of pace from the hooker. Absolutely fantastic. And then the awareness to put that grubber through for the players in support. I have to say, Munster are playing with a good bit of confidence here. They're really enjoying themselves.
Well, I thought it was Johnny McNichol that had taken a bang, but it's not. It's Scott Williams taking a bang to the eye, I think. Doesn't look happy at all, but number 12 leaves and number 23 is on, and that's not a bad replacement, Philip. That's Johnny Williams.
Yeah. And we were talking, weren't we, just before the game, Johnny Williams, a little bit unlucky with his injuries, burst onto the scene towards the end of the Rainbow Cup, and gosh, did he put his hand up. He certainly got everyone excited. Like I say, had his injuries, coming back first game now with the Scarlets, and he certainly got everyone excited. Like I say, had his injuries, coming back first game now with the Scarlets. As much as we do not want to see Scott Williams going off.
Johnny Williams not played since injuring his shoulder in Europe against Sale at Parc Scarlets. I think all Scarlets fans will want to forget that game anyway, for many, many reasons. But it's great to see Johnny Williams at Parc Scarlets. I think all Scarlets fans will want to forget that game anyway, for many, many reasons. But it's great to see Johnny Williams back, because it's been all Munster at Parc Scarlets. And here they come at the moment. Time on the ball, over the gain line, breaking tackles. Cronin on to Loughman. Jeremy Loughman, a man who came from Leinster, and that's gone forward. And the Scarlets getting a little break, Philippa.
Yeah, little breather.
We are.
Scrum will just be inside the Scarlets 22, so they can clear directly for touch. What is half-time? 13 minutes away. What are the messages coming on from Dwayne Peel and his coaching staff?
Look after the ball, get some more bodies if necessary in that ruck. I know Dwayne Peel wants to play this exciting offloading high-tempo game, which means you have to have players on their feet. However, you can't do that unless you've got the ball. And Munster are not going to break down easy. You've got to look after that ball.
Time is back on. This is the last game of the URC in round 3, where a team's going next week. The talk is that, you know, with a 6-day turnaround, Munster have made these changes because, like Philippa said earlier, they've got a big derby against Connacht at home at Thomond Park in round 4. It's not going to get any easier for the Scarlets because they go to Leinster.
Tight head early.
That's a free kick, early engage.
Number 3, free engaged.
This will give us an idea of how the Scarlets feel if they go for a reset or if they decide to kick. It looks like they are, but is it going up in the air? Straight down the field, they just want to clear some pressure, Philippa.
Absolutely. With the pace and the intensity that the Munster defence has been coming up in their face, they just want to get them out of their half.
Sam Costello.
Let him run.
Very nice.
That's how outside halves used to play. Not the best kick, because he's found Calvin Nash has looked extremely dangerous, and that's found some space. All dependent on the bounce. Oh, Costello has it. Is this a chance? McNichol calls for the kick. He's on the charge. If this sits up, we'll have a score for the Scarlets fullback. Oh! More of that, please. We love rugby like this in the URC.
Oh, Sam Costello, hello. Bit of a shaky kick in the middle, but my days did he make up for it. Lovely little dummy to get that clearance kick in. But then he stays alive. Look, he's chasing back on his kick, just there, ready and waiting to take the most of that bounce of that ball. But look at this awareness. What an awkward kick to do.
Memories of Twickenham World Cup 2015. Lloyd Williams to Gareth Davis. Are they looking at that as a potential knock-on?
They are looking as to whether that made contact. Is that a knock-on? I don't think they are looking at it, sorry. No, I think it's fine.
It was great play initially by Calvin Nash. He found the space with that little chip by the bounce of a rugby ball, Philippa. It can go anywhere.
It's so cruel. It really is. Make or break hearts in a second.
You're right there, but this time the ball has gone straight through the sticks.
Oh, what a kick by Sam Costello. Such an awkward lateral kick that had the right amount of pace on it and just sat up perfectly for Johnny McNichol. Lovely bit of play.
Scarlets needed something to happen.
Yep.
And they got it from broken open field play, reactive play. What we've seen from Munster. I don't know if we're looking at any stats at the moment, possession-wise. I know the meterage is way up in Munster's favour at the moment, over 200 metres made compared to the Scarlets, 90-odd. Now it's important, Philippa, for the Scarlets just to settle, and they've just got a little bit of momentum back into this game. Don't want to give it away.
Yeah, key for them now is just getting out of this 22.
Timing, fellas.
Gareth Davis clears, box kick, finds Matt Gallagher. He's counted well as well, through traffic. If they go wide, there is a chance. Goggin decides to step back in field. Another change of direction. Impressed by the Munster halfbacks. Here they come, Jack O'Sullivan, the try scorer. Tom Rogers brings him down. Did he have a second little bite to that? The Munster number 8, O'Sullivan. Lochman, that is a maul. Doesn't have to move. Oh, Jonathan Davis decides to kick that away. And it's worked out in the Scarlets' favour because of that man, Matt Gallagher's left boot. It's gone straight over the touchline. It's funny how rugby can swing, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Really nice couple of phases there from Tom Rogers, though. Putting in some good tackles, chasing up on kicks. Great awareness by Jonathan Davis there. Low, bobbling balls, gonna make it awkward. Oof, just comes off the outside of the boot, doesn't it?
Well, Scarlets fans won't want to see that. Sione Kalamafoni having some treatment on his right knee. If you look at the Scarlet squad, that's one thing they do maybe lack, is that physical presence, the ball-carrying presence.
Yeah, I mean, they've got some injuries as well, haven't they? Sam Lucy, who does a lot of hard work for them. He's still out injured.
Jake Ball, of course, has left Wales. He's on Japanese shores playing now. They want to play an attractive brand that man in the middle there, Phil Bennett, would be happy to see.
Yeah.
Do you think he can put his boots still on? Quite similar. You look at Sam Costello and you look at Phil Bennett, you know, they're quite the same stature and similar style of play as well. When he stepped inside the chaser there and didn't kick, you know, that's something Phil Bennett would have done, but he most probably would have scored then from 70 yards as well.
Very true. We just need to see a real old school fall away pass now.
There's another legend as well, Sean Fitzpatrick. He's part of the Scarlets board here. Down to watch this big game at Parker Scarlets, Munster. 3-time champions of this league against the Scarlets, 2-time champions. Shingler takes that. Here comes Johnny Williams. And the ball back inside from Costello, and it's advantage for the Scarlets. There's another free play, a chance to try something. Callum Mahoney tests that knee out. Complete disregard for his own physical well-being. Rob Evans has lost that, so we'll come back for the penalty. They were 17 points to 3 down, Philippa, the Scarlets. All of a sudden, in a short turnaround, they could be back within 4.
Yeah, absolutely. They've got to go for the corner for this one. Oh, they're going for the sticks.
Yeah, that's what I would have done. being old school, take the points, take the points.
It's so difficult, isn't it? Because there is that argument for slowly building the board, but they are still a try down, and the clock is ticking at the moment. The last sort of 5-10 minutes, you have to say that the momentum has been with Scarlets. So I'd like to see them really try and capitalise on that. But equally, like I say, there is always call for just slowly building up the points.
Well, they did it against the Emirates Lions. You know, they were in control of that game. The Lions got back into it, and they took 2 similar penalties to this, just to stretch that advantage a little bit, and then opened up towards the end of the game. Yes. So a little bit different, but I kind of get their thinking. He had to kick it, of course. It wouldn't have been the right decision if he'd have missed it, but no problems this time. Costello with a penalty for the Scarlets, a second penalty. He missed his first effort, but he's more than made up for that, created a score and kicked another 2. It's the Scarlets 13, Munster 17. 6 and a bit minutes left on this clock in the first half. Possession in Munster's favour, 57-43. Has that gone forward? It is advantage. A knock-on advantage. Worth a pop. Here's McNichol. Always looking for a gap is Johnny McNichol. Could be an argument about entry point there by Steph Evans. That's what Munster were screaming rather loudly about. And the advantage is over. Ooh. Now Sam Costello, I don't think he expected that one quite as quickly from Gareth Davis. He was just about to set another pod of forwards.
Yeah, quick like reactions there.
Onto his left foot as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Guys, stay out, please. Lads, no.
Scott Williams went off for a blood injury. He didn't seem very happy with leaving. He had a cut somewhere on his face. Johnny Williams has replaced him, and we've not seen Scott Williams return. Could have been blood, could have been HIA, but the Scarlets have stolen that. Have they? Oh, I thought they did.
Yeah.
Thomas Ahern with a carry. The big Munster man, 6'9". Former Ireland under-20s. Here come Munster. They haven't had any possession for a while.
6. Thank you.
Cronin, he's controlled things at the base, controlled thing of the half-backs as well. Him and Ben Healy. Gallagher coming into close quarters with the forwards. Wycherley, Fineen Wycherley carrying. Dan Davis, is he on the ball or is he on the body? Well, the ball is there, and it opens up for Lockman again.
Advantage.
There's advantage for Munster now. Lovely ball over the top. Is Nash going to get in? Yes! I think he is. Yeah, the hand is in the air. They were playing advantage, but Munster don't need it because they've crossed for a third score.
And that is where I just wish Scarlets could have backed themselves a little bit more and gone for a line-out and tried to go for some more points, because you have to say Munster, as soon as they're getting into the Scarlets 22, they are backing themselves. What about this for a diving try? Skills. I think they're going to be looking there for making sure there's no separation between the hand and the ball, because that would deem a knock-on. No, I think that's fine by me. That's great skills.
Yeah, Calvin Nash knew he'd scored. You can go right back maybe to the restart, Philip. It was a lovely long ball from Ben Healy, but from the restart and the clearance that Sam Costello had and took off his left left foot didn't clear things with the Scarlets maybe to where they should have been.
Yeah, absolutely. And that pressure put on by Shane Daly, just getting up into the air, forcing that ball to be a knock-on, which, yes, gave Scarlets the advantage, but as we then saw, they weren't able to relieve that pressure.
I was going to say it's a Scarlets fan in shock, but it's not. Munster fans don't need to pray, but you might be praying for the conversion. Well, all that praying didn't work for Ben Healy, but they won't particularly mind because they are ahead.
Ben Healy, that's the second time he's put in a looping pass. But the thing about a looping pass, it normally takes too long to get there and bodies will defend it. But he is getting so much zip on it, it is beating the defenders at the moment.
Yeah, the Scarlets 13, Munster 22 at the moment. What's on the clock?
Use it!
Just about 2 minutes, as Neil Cronin told to use it. Let's see the Munster exit.
No, 9, thank you.
Much better platform, Philippa, for Munster to clear.
Yeah, definitely a more calmer environment, wasn't it? Frantic miscommunication we've just seen from the halfbacks for Scarlets.
Stay out.
But the home team, the Scarlets, will have one final chance. They'll have a possession in this line-out. Can they get another score back? 3 tries for Munster against 1 for the Scarlets. Perfect throw to the back taken by Blade Thompson. Here comes Johnny Williams up the middle. Chris Clody, a nuisance again.
The ball was lifted, it's out.
Well, he was lifted. That's off the leg, potentially. Oh, it's gone forward.
Great hustle there by Munster. Well, as soon as Gareth Davis had his hands on the ball, they were straight up in his face.
I'd like to see the replay again, see where Chris Clody was.
Here we go. No, just before that we need to see, unfortunately. The initial take by Sam Costello off the line-out was great. He was catching that ball down by his shins. Really good hand skills.
It has been all Munster. The Scarlets not quite at the races. They've had a nice phase of this game. Instead of a 5-6 minute phase where they really got back into it. But in all honesty, this first half of the last game of round 3 of the URC has been dominated by Munster. We're looking for another 50-22. Well, that's not going to work. Is the clock red? No, it's not. So the Scarlets will come back to just where we were and have another line-up and one more shot at it.
Here we are.
Just doesn't quite make the 22, does it? 8 or 9 meters short there.
Well, Scarlets have one more shot. The clock is now red. Lloyd Ashley gets a left palm to it. Johnny McNichol, first receiver to Williams. Jonathan Davis really struggling to get over the gain line of the Scarlets. They're a good 5 yards behind where the lineup was now. Davis, Johnny Williams, first receiver. Costello. Oh, Steph Evans does very, very well to avoid Cronin coming in. That is a penalty now.
You got the number there.
Another free play. Calamafoni. Ooh, he's floored by Barron. His arms out. There's penalty. There's advantage. Scarlets will want to take it because they're under pressure. Let's have a listen to what Ben Blano, referee, has to say.
Number 6. It's high.
Guessing it was a high tackle by that man, Captain Jack O'Donoghue, as he was trying to hold the man up in the maul.
Yeah, really interesting then in the phases of play that Scarlets had. There was a different first receiver every single time. Sam Costello floating more around 12-13 position. We saw Johnny Williams in there, Jonathan Davis in there, just mixing things up.
Surprised by this one, Philippa, as we see the high tackle. Steph Evans on the way down, and he's got him around the cheekbone. But the Scarlets have opted to go for 3 points.
But you know what, actually, I'm going to contradict myself. I get this because they've just had 2 series of line-out plays that haven't connected. It's just not going to hand for them at the moment. So, yes, take this penalty, get in the changing rooms, have a good chat, and come back firing.
Whatever happens with this attempt for Sam Costello, Munster will be ahead. 22-13 they lead. Almost 2 minutes into added time at the end of this first half. Can he close the gap on the Munster men? It's a low driver, but with a bit of fade, unfortunately. Unsuccessful with that attempt was the Scarlets out at half, Sam Costello. So, at Parc Scarlets in this final match of round 3 of the URC, it's the Scarlets 13, Munster 22. From the bench last week, such a big man. I looked at him in the warm-up. What a presence that would be for Munster to come on. Not as if they need it.
No. I think as he is coming back from injury, that's probably very much their thought in the Munster camp, just giving him these sort of 15-20 minutes at the end of games. But yes, his try last week, pirouetting like a ballerina, even though he's 10'4". Unbelievable.
Here we go, second half at Parc Scarlets. Scarlets 13, Munster 22. 3 tries to 1, Munster lead. What have the Scarlets got to offer? Gareth Davis starting for the first time on his Lions return. That's a good clearance. Job well done by the Scarlets 9.
Yeah, really good length on that, wasn't there?
Use the line, lads. Line for you.
You have to say that Munster, not only have they had the possession, they've certainly had the territory and been far more clinical with the territory that they've had.
265 metres to 121.
On the arm. 6. You're on his arm.
Metre-wise that was, but that's a penalty against the Scarlets. Blade Thompson penalised, just grappling in the line-out.
Contact in the air, isn't it?
I thought that Ben Healy was contemplating the sticks there. Seen him kick some big kicks at Parc Scarlets. And Lee Halfpenny kicked 9 penalties. But that man stepped up and kicked the winning one when it mattered. Well, they decided to go for the corner. He hasn't quite put them right in the corner, but early pressure will be on the Scarlets. What was it, 3 minutes when Jack O'Sullivan scored? If that. Munster will look to start this second half in the same vein.
How many are you having? 6, lads. 6.
6-man line. Where's the throw? Last in, Wycherley. He's moving forward, but he leaves it for captain Jack O'Donoghue. And here comes the Munster drive.
Hold, lads. 9. No.
Barron, ball in hand. Good counter from Rob Evans.
Advantage.
Now he's broken away, but it is advantage. Side entry by Lloyd Ashley. So it's a free play for Munster. They can try anything here. Know that they will come back. A dynamic Chris Cloherty. For once, he's driven back. Munster looking to capitalise. Loughman with a pick and go. Cronin, change of direction to Archer. He's in heavy traffic.
No advantage, number 5, side entry.
Well, no advantage, so back will come for that penalty. I didn't quite pick up Lloyd Ashley coming in. But these eyes of the referee are the ones that count. And his assistant referees, of course.
5.
You can still see it's very much a target for Munster to be just hitting up around the fringes of the rucks.
7, my guy will come in. All right, mate.
They're certainly wanting to test what we traditionally would call the ABC, the guards around the ruck. I think that's where Munster feel there could be some advantages.
Don't change.
To be taken.
Don't change and come in the side. Number 5. Timing as well. Nothing in the air.
Yeah, that was the penalty. Lloyd Ashley came in from the side. Again, Jack O'Donoghue, the Munster captain, having a quick chat with Ben Blaine, looking at foul play as well. Just just asking, or setting that little seed and just planting it in there. The line-up
Find
move.
the balls at the front.
Cloherty to Coombs. Quick ball that was from the Munster line. Here comes Archer. Pick and go.
Advantage penalty.
Oh, it's another penalty against the Scarlets. Munster a metre out. Lockman. Got to be careful of the latch, but no problems, says Ben Blaine, the referee. And Munster have got a bonus point score. A 4th try at Parker Scarlets, and completely dominated the first 4 minutes of this second half.
Yeah, and it's a bit more Munster of old, isn't it? Keeping it tight, using their physicality, remaining patient. But you could see it was going to come. Scarlets were giving away penalties there. They couldn't deal with the tempo of those carries. You just know if Munster have the ball in your 22, more than likely they're coming away with points. That's why possession and territory game against Munster is so important.
World Rugby are looking at a latch. If anyone pre-latches onto the ball carrier and then goes to the floor, you can't have numerous people latching. That is a penalty. Ooh, Johnny McNichol got some fingertips to that. Ben Healy can smile because he went over.
Sorry, okay.
The Scarlets 13, Munster 29, a bonus point for them. Multiple changes for the Scarlets as well. Here's almost the charge down. Just a left mid to it. Who have you got on? We got Sean Evans wearing 20 on. We got Ryan Elias, Wyn Jones and Will Griff-John on a completely new front row. And the Scarlets need something to happen, and they need it to happen quickly. Costello, Jonathan Davis, that famous handoff. Couldn't quite get rid of Jack O'Donoghue. Will Griff-John to McNichol, to Callum Mahoney. Change of direction. Steph Evans, first receiver. Ooh, that could have been high on Sam Costello. Callum Mahoney. He's taken to the deck. Where's the ball? Just not clean. And will be a penalty.
The first offence is not rolling.
There is a decision to be made, Philippa, but I think it's a pretty straightforward one now, isn't it?
It absolutely has to be the line out. They have far too much of a deficit with points. Nice bit of face play there. I'm really liking them. When the forwards were coming onto the ball off 9, they were also then putting that behind the door back pass. We saw one go away from Will Griff-John to Johnny McNichol. Just testing the defensive line there, just mixing up the point of attack.
Well, Sam Costello has kicked that one dead. See that again? I was just looking at changes, and he's gone right for the corner when he really didn't need to there, you know. 10 metres out, 7 metres out, he didn't really need to look for that corner flag.
And that's where I think we're going to be seeing Dan Jones come on with just that bit more composure, a bit more experience. Tight battles like this, that's a real wasted opportunity for Scarlets.
Stand up, lads.
Does give an opportunity for the fresh.
Be left of each other, all right?
Scarlets
I know
front
that's the
row.
mark, but I need you to set up left of each other so the heads go in the slot. I've had no issues so far with set up.
Be a battle on this side. Wyn Jones against the experienced Stephen Archer.
Don't change.
Wyn Jones so unlucky on that Lions tour. Shoulder injury ruled him out of the first and second test.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
It's Munster ball. Here comes the shove. The Scarlets trying to put some pressure on. Both front rows are up. And I think that's a message come from the assistant referee.
Far side.
I think he's done Wyn Jones for the angle, maybe.
Yeah, potentially. And again, we're seeing these, you know, clear early decisions.
Line for you, fellas.
Yeah, call come in from assistant referee. I think it's Ben Breakspear on this side. But it means a Munster penalty, Munster possession, a Munster line-out. A lot of movement, and that's kind of worked out because Thomas Ahern has his mitts on it. And they're on the charge. With ball in hand, two missed tackles by the Scarlets. And Callum Mahoney is down, he's taking a bang to the head. Slow to get up, here's a danger man. Chris Cloherty out wide. Well, Gareth Davis has pinched that from him. Steph Evans now has the ball. Who's got some wheels? Gareth Davis has. Back there is Goggin. Dan Goggin tidies up for Munster and clears. Just a little scare there for Munster, but dealt with by Dan Goggin.
Yeah, just about managed that quite frantic little episode of play. Gareth Davis going for that rip. Fantastic work. It's such a gamble because you're putting yourself in quite a vulnerable position to potentially be accused of a high tackle. But if you can time it right, get your arm in there.
And Gareth Davis is getting some treatment as well as Sione Kalamafoni. And got Kieran Hardy on the bench for the Scarlets. Guessing some people might look at Kieran Hardy as the #1 scrum half in Wales. You spoiled for choice maybe with Thomas Williams, yes. Gareth Davis, Lloyd Williams. Good scrum halves at the Dragons as well.
Yep.
There's Callum Mahoney going. He's continuing to play. He does have a history with concussion, taking a few blows to the head. Good to see him back on his feet. And in no need of an assessment. He's back into play, does really well. Basketball skills from the big man, Johnny Williams. Costello looks for a gap. Callum Mahoney involved. Going forward again. Munster slow to move away from the point of contact. Scarlets fans cheering because they think they've been under the cosh from the referee, but I don't see it that way. Only one team's been under the cosh, and that's the Scarlets because of the Munster pressure.
He is so good, isn't he? Munster captain there.
Well, that's the incident that Sione Kalamafoni took a knock. He was brilliant in that last passage of play, but he is going to leave for an assessment because if you see the replay again, I think it warrants it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wearing number 46. That's Tom Price coming on. This is a HIA, head injury assessment for the big man, Sione Kalamafoni. They've got to look after him, Philippa, haven't they, here?
Gosh, yeah, he's become one of the most prized possessions for the Scarlets. His work rate is absolutely immense.
Prized possession for the Scarlets. They've got some ball. Johnny Williams carries into traffic. Got to get people in that breakdown to make it a little bit easier for Gareth Davis. Munster pouring through. Where's that man, Chris Cloherty? He can't be far away. That's him there.
Use it. No, don't do it.
Very, very messy breakdown for the Scarlets.
Advantage over.
Tom Price carrying. Johnny Williams in at 9. Blade Thompson. Gareth Davis to his captain, Jonathan Davis. Looking for ball carriers, looking for angles of the Scarlets. Not quite finding them at the moment. Oh, is that Chris Cloherty again? Unbelievable from the Munster open side. He's been everywhere. Blade Thompson tries to pinch that one.
Stay on side. Use it.
Munster told to use it.
Stop in front.
Neil Cronin finds his outside half. Ben Healy. I think he would have wanted a little bit more on that, but the Scarlets at the moment, Philippa, they just can't get over the gain line.
They can't keep hold of that ball, but my days, how good is Chris Cloherty? We get to see it again here. Just fantastic body position, fully in control of his own weight. That weathers the storm of 3 or 4 players coming over him, and yet still manages to keep hold of the ball.
Hang on. Medics on the pitch.
Great play from the Munster open side. See the man getting treatment? I thought he was indestructible.
Lads, stay out.
That coaching team will be happy. Johan van Grant, Graham Roundtree alongside him as well, but in Scarlets' possession, Steph Evans always seem to be under pressure today, the Scarlets. That's credit to the...
First man.
That's credit to that man, Chris Clotey, and the Munster defence. He's pinched another one.
The ball was lifted.
Munster possession. Fineen Wycherley with a carry. A couple of replacements on for Munster as well. As the arm is in the air. Off their feet go Munster. Might have been R.G. Snyman who's on. Also on is number 18, John Ryan.
You cannot drop onto the player on the floor.
Scarlets 13, Munster 29, coming up to 52 minutes on the clock. Philippa, is there a way back for the Scarlets?
It's going to be a tall order to ask, because they've had their opportunities, but at the moment they just can't keep hold of that possession, all down to the fantastic work rate of the back row of Munster. And we just see there coming off his feet. I mean, in fairness, being such a big gentleman, it must be quite hard to bend down that far and stay on your feet.
Easier to stay on your feet when you're 6'9". But it is an attacking lineup for the Scarlets. Ryan Elias on for Ken Owens. The target at the back is missed. Messy, but tidied up by Munster.
No hands, the ball's still in.
Another chance goes for the Scarlets.
No, go back on side.
Gareth Davis looking to put pressure on. He'll have to time his run. Healy under pressure. And a good clearance. Still in the Munster 22 though. But as you said, Philippa, Scarlets have had their chances and another one gone.
Yep, and even with this bit of possession now, I'm just not quite feeling it connecting for them.
Lineup functioning this time. Elias gets on the back of it, and here comes the drive from the Scarlets. Where is that ball now? Advantage, collapsing. Kick across from Costello. How is this going to bounce? Oh, bounces well for Matt Gallagher. Tom Rogers tackles him. But we'll come back for the penalty. Where's the mark? There's some urgency in Scarlet's ranks. What will the message be from Captain Jonathan Davis? A couple of options here, Philippa. What would you do?
A couple of options. You've got to be going for the scrum or the line out. What a lovely opportunistic kick, though, cross-field like that from Sam Costello. Just, again, unlucky with the bounce of the ball, weren't they?
Starting to go up. Yeah, have a quick word now. Hold.
The time is off a little bit just for Jack O'Donoghue to have a quick chat.
Yeah, penalties are up for 9 now for Munster, so they are slowly creeping up.
In we come.
Scarlet's not really taking advantage of that penalty count. Been down here many times. Replacement Sean Evans wearing 20. He's a former back rower, went to play hooker, and back in the back row. And I think everybody from the Scarlets are in, apart from Costello and Johnny McNichol and Tom Rogers right out there. They'll need to get this moving. They'll need to get it over the try line, and they could lose possession. Elias is there, feeds it back. That's Tom Price wearing 46. Told to use it. Could be held up unless that comes to the floor. It's on the floor, I think. No, it's not. This is going to be Munster ball. And yet again, a chance for the Scarlets goes by the wayside.
Stop twice, lads, and you haven't used it. Turn over.
And you've got to say, yes, OK, Scarlets aren't being as clinical as they could be here, but equally you've got to give so much credit to the Munster defence. The amount of work they're doing at those breakdowns, their physicality. They're just getting the best of Scarlets every time.
OK, red 9. Time off. 9.
Just Munster hands coming through.
Yep.
John Ryan coming through. Jack O'Donoghue, he's got his hands on it. We watch the replay. There's a replacement happening. Gareth Davis leaves, and on comes Kieran Hardy. Good run up for Gareth Davis, but he's been under some pressure at the base.
Oh, so much pressure. They really haven't looked after the ball very well in the base of the rucks. He's had to go fishing a few times. He's been scragged quite a few times as well. And that just really limits his game, because you want Gareth being able to get that ball to look up and to be able to back himself and go and test around the edges. But he's just been desperate to get that ball away. We haven't really seen the best of him.
Crouch! Bind!
Munster scrum 5 metres out for their own line. 55 minutes, almost 56 minutes on the clock. A shove comes on from the Scarlets. Which way's it going this time? Oh, another scrum penalty against the Scarlets. Infuriates the fans at the park here. Will Griff-John penalised. Driving in on the hooker. Something that you could do in rugby, but you can't do anymore. You must scrum it square. Ben Healy, oh, he goes for the spiral. A deliberate attempt, taking play up almost to halfway. Struck that one beautifully. Confident, isn't he, as a 10?
Yep, he's really looking like he's enjoying his time in the fly half position. Can't quite see him just out of camera, but he's literally got everyone in, talking away, shouting the commands.
Munster slowly, gently walking to the line-out. Dermot Barron. Will his target be? Well, he hasn't found it. And Ryan Elias has reacted well at the back of that, but he's lost the ball on the floor. Scarlets really not helping themselves. Dan Goggin beats one, gets over the gain line again. Ball is so much cleaner for Munster. Chance for them to try something. In midfield is Matt Gallagher, the full-back. There's R.G. Snyman. He's got his hand on it. Just picks it up like a little pea. He's had a good game as Jeremy Loughman as well. He's been everywhere. This is what Munster did very, very well in the opening quarter. And the Scarlets have knocked that on. Steph Evans couldn't take it. And it's Munster ball again. Coming down the blind side. Gallagher into some traffic. It's a knock-on advantage. They don't go anywhere, it'll be a scrum. But it is Munster, and they're looking for a 5th score. Who's that in midfield? Is Captain Jack O'Donoghue breaking through tackles. Where's the support runners? Decides to put a kick through, and it's not a bad one. Jonathan Davis is back there, but he hasn't got his hands on the ball because Liam Coombs has grabbed a second try, showed some speed and some skill to gather that, and he's crossed for Munster's 5th.
What an exciting bit of play from Munster. That's the second time we've seen a forward make a break and then have the confidence and the awareness to put through that kick. I mean, we can't say enough about Jack O'Donoghue, can we? In defence, he's incredible. In attack, he's elusive. But look at that kick through. Oh, what a regather there by Liam Coombs. Fantastic. This is a team playing with confidence. You put in a kick through that, especially like a flanker, that's because you're enjoying yourself. You're backing yourself.
Well, Munster, they've been under a little bit of pressure, I would say. They've been in their own 22 for a while. The Scarlets have had numerous chances to get back a little bit back into this game. But as you said in the first half, Philippa, Munster have a chance, and they inevitably take it.
I'm not sure that the defence coach for Scarlets is going to be too impressed. There's been a couple of tackles that you really feel should be made there. Case in point, just slipping off. When you've got a body in the position to make the tackle, you have to make it. They're currently up to 16 missed tackles when you bear in mind last round was 20, first round against Edinburgh was 25. That's strong numbers of missed tackles by Scarlets.
Restart taken by R.G. Snyman. It's the Scarlets 13 and Munster, after that conversion from Ben Healy, 36. 5 tries. Sione Kalamafoni won't make a return. Not much point in that now. Jonathan Davis with a pass that goes astray, and is there another score here for Munster? Really messy defensively. Tom Rogers clears, doesn't know which way to go. Who's carried that ball over? It has been carried over.
Oh, it's just the worst position to be in. When you get a ball like that that's been carried in, you desperately want to try and get out of your dead ball area. This is the initial challenge here. You just got Jonathan Davis there. He was probably having the call from Tom Rogers to pass that ball back, but it's risky play. You'd have liked maybe here just to get on that ball and then try and get to your feet, fight, allow a bit of time for the Scarlets to get round behind you and secure the ball. But this here for Tom Rogers, it's just the worst position to be in.
Nothing much he could do.
No.
But there's some bad news for Munster, because the big man, R.G. Snyman, is limping off the field. I hope for everyone's sake that's not a recurrence of his knee problem or a new one. He doesn't look happy. You've got a feel for the man. Jack Daly is on, wearing number 23. There'll be some reshuffling in the Munster pack. But in all honesty, Philippa, they won't mind that, will they? We're into the last quarter, under 20 minutes left. They're in complete control here.
Yeah, it's a great position for Munster to be in. We've talked about how many changes they made to the start, but there's changes on the bench, and now they're going to be getting their opportunities in a game where you're up by 36. It's certainly a great opportunity to blood in the full squad.
Jack Daly wearing 23. He most probably will slot somewhere into that back row. He played for Gary Owen last weekend.
Bind!
And he signed a one-year deal after 3 years in the academy at Munster. And it's a Munster scrum. Scarlets have been heavily penalised.
9, get off him! Use it!
Use it, they do. Here comes Jack O'Sullivan, the first try scorer this afternoon, this sunny Sunday afternoon. But if there's anybody that's been the shining light for Munster, it's been that man, the try scorer. How many tries is that? Is that the 6th? But it's Chris Cloherty. If anyone deserved the score, it was that man.
Yeah, he certainly earned it, but he just had a feeling that was a little bit soft from Scarlet's defence. See the initial carry here, desperate to get bodies in. Oh, it's round the ruck again. It's just been Scarlet's Achilles heel. Is just getting the right players in the right position here. You're feeling there, Scarlets were almost fearing the ball going out wide. They were looking to fold round.
Well, they want to have a look at something, Philippa, I think, as well. Of just
holding on there of Costello, I think.
There's no big screen. It's been a bit of a malfunction at Parker Scarlets.
You need to look at the actions of 12.
They're looking at Dan Goggin, I think.
I think this is going to be preventing Sam Costello from potentially making a tackle.
Oh, what a shame this would be for star man Chris Cloherty.
You can see he's just got an arm on Costello there, and he keeps hold of him, see? Costello then loses his feet. Potentially, if that hadn't happened, could have Sam Costello been in a position to make the
decision is whether 10 is part of the breakdown or whether he is not, and then not then being able to get into position to make a potential tackle.
Yeah, I mean, if we look at
this is a difficult one, because Chris Cloherty hits another line as well, doesn't he?
He's not driving the player out of the contact there. Do you agree? And therefore he's just pulling and holding that player in, and it looks like 10's actually trying to step and get out of there. Would you agree?
10 is definitely part of the breakdown. He is in a contest over the ball and is part of the ruck for me.
Okay, so on that basis then you're telling me there's no foul play and we're happy that the try stands?
Yes, I agree.
Okay.
Ooh.
Well, my question is, who's made that decision there? I don't think it's the referee. I think that the TMO, Neil Patterson, has made that decision.
Number 10, yeah, and the captain.
Here we go, be interesting to see
what they say.
We've had a
look at it. There is some contact, but you are part of the breakdown, so therefore he's entitled to play you. So it's not a clear pullback off the ball.
So does that mean you can hold people in the ruck?
That's where my issue is with this particular decision, because number 12 for Munster is not being effective at that ruck area moving forward, in which case if he was, that would be okay to remain in contact. He is stunted, but he still keeps contact with Sam Costello. Personally, for me, I think Scarlets have been hard done by there.
But it does mean a score for that man, Chris Cloherty. But my big concern is there that I think that the TMO changed the referee's decision. We're both looking at the same picture. And the question is, who's in charge? Well, I can tell you the answer to that. It's Munster.
It did just look that little bit too easy, didn't it, when he sort of made that breakthrough.
Wow, everything going wrong for the Scarlets. The restart knock on 10. Matt Gallagher running onto it. Munster on the front foot again. Feneen Wycherley carrying. With Snyman off the field, it will look like both second rows are likely to play 80.
No, lads, everyone just stepped away. Play on.
Elias, Scarlets have the ball. They look so nervous, ball in hand. Jonathan Davis. Nothing more he can say. Loose ball gathered by Josh Wycherley. The brothers are on together. There's the captain finding Healy.
Advantage, forward pass.
That's a forward pass.
From forward.
It's just gone forward. Munster streaming into the contact area after the ball. They want more, Philippa, don't they? Not really happy with 43 points.
No, and you know what? It's moments like this here where you see the Munster player running on and getting that ball. That lifts a team like you would not believe. They're playing with so much ambition and confidence. Really good stuff from Munster.
And the substitution happens. The you thought, Philippa, might happen a little bit sooner. Number 22, Dan Jones, is on for number 10, Sam Costello.
He's had some great moments in the game, hasn't he? That weird lateral kick that he managed to put through for Johnny McNichol's try. But he is a young player who is growing and developing. It would have been a good experience for him today. Would have learnt a lot.
Another out and half leaves as well. Ben Healy. He's had a great performance controlling. Very authoritative figure at 10. And a big voice as well in the Munster team. Scrum penalty for the Scarlets. That's a rarity this afternoon.
First one was against 3, second one's against the red hat. Pre-engaged, penalty. On the 5.
And the halfbacks have been changed for Munster. Paddy Patterson is on, and Jack Crowley is on as well. What have we got left? 14 and a half minutes. Scarlets 13, Munster 43. It's very, very quiet at Parc Scarlets.
Yeah, to be honest with you, in a position like this for Scarlets, a victory for them will now be making sure that Munster don't score again.
Well, a minor victory is winning line-up ball, but it's not clean for Kieran Hardy. That's been the story. It's been very, very difficult.
Tackle!
In the contact area. No. Dwayne Peel spoke before the game.
Don't play him.
About winning the contact area, winning the contact battle, and Munster being an 80-minute team. Well, we've seen that. Physically, they've been terrific. Chris Cloherty, he's won 2 or 3 at the breakdown. And he's won another penalty here.
Seven's on the ball. Seven's clearly on the ball and then driven to floor. He's legal.
He's on the ball and driven to floor. Well, okay, is that not a tackle? Munster going to the corner. Jack Crowley. They're going to want a 7th score. Here's the penalty.
That's you, lads. Yeah.
Well, that's just a pile-up, messy one. If he's won the ball, which I think he has, then he hits the deck. He has to release it, which he didn't. Neither did Johnny Williams.
Yeah.
Make your own minds up there at home.
Yeah.
It's what you call, in schoolyard terms, a pylon. It's a Munster line. 7 or 8 metres out. Jack O'Donoghue. Has he pushed or taken in the air there? Potentially a little bit, but possession is clean. Here comes the drive. The experienced Kevin O'Byrne has his hands on the ball at the end of this one. In comes Paddy Patterson. A couple of academy players on the bench for Munster. Dan Goggin, he's had a good game as well. Oh, good little break and a stretch. Oh, just lost it forward as Paddy Patterson spotted a little gap and went through it like a whippet.
Yeah, and again, it was around the fringes, wasn't it? Just after that initial collision there, that's really where Munster are finding all the space. And like I said, a real victory for Scarlets would now just be, can they keep Munster out, stop them from scoring again? It just has a bit of a feeling of a floodgate situation. If they were to score one more, I think we could see a few too many.
I'm looking at the engagement here, all right?
I think if you're a Scarlets fan, you've seen one too many already.
Yeah.
Wait for set.
Seconds in.
Crouch!
Scarlet scrum 5 metres out.
Bind!
They've had a couple of purple patches, but those patches have been very short and infrequent in this game.
Get it in. Stay out now.
Settled scrum for once. Johnny Williams to Johnny McNichol. Gonna get on the outside. Good tackle by Coombs. And again, competing relentlessly at the breakdown. Could have been a little bit of a seatbelt tackle there on Blade Thompson. Dan Jones thinks it is. Into contact he goes. You don't want to run into Chris Cloherty.
Easy. Go, lads.
Dan Jones comes on as an outside half,
boys,
runs into an open side and starts a
Don't give me a
fight.
chance to reverse it, fellas.
You always want your subs to make an impact. I'm not quite sure this is what we're on about.
Come here.
Let's have a listen.
16, time off. 16. Right, black captain, bring 23.
Well, that's a high tackle by Jack O'Sullivan.
Lads, just let it go.
What happened afterwards, I'm not sure.
It's a high tackle
Yeah, there's
against
definitely
your team.
contact, isn't there, there?
All right?
Contact
Look,
with the
if lads
head.
are going to start running in, I'm going to have to potentially reverse everything. So let's just let it go, and that's the end of it. No more.
Ben Blaine's saying he's potentially reversed the decision. I didn't see any advantage being played for a high tackle. But I don't know what got under Dan Jones's skin. But I'm almost 100% certain that the Scarlets will be very, very happy that the Munster number 7, Chris Cloherty, has left the field. He's replaced by Alex Kendellen from the academy. What a performance from the Munster open side.
Unbelievable shift, absolutely unbelievable shift.
Lads, get out.
Last 10 minutes, Price takes one up in the front. Hardy, Johnny Williams. Oh, into traffic goes Steph Evans. Good tackle by Liam Coombs. Good contest again from Munster. Every breakdown is tough for the Scarlets. Got no go forward at all. An offload. Look at the Munster line speed. 70 minutes gone. Sean Evans out wide. Into the Munster half they go. Hardy, he's hassled. Wyn Jones. Dan Jones looking for options. Johnny Williams breaks one. Oh, almost breaks two with an offload. But that's collected by Jack Daly for Munster. And they look to go. Change of direction. O'Donoghue.
Stop in front, stop in front.
Kick through. Potentially looking for a 50-22. Jonathan Davis collects. He's left-footed. Brings it infield to Steph Evans. Dan Jones. It's just a Munster wall in front of him. It's just a Munster wall in front of him. If they use their hands, there could be numbers up wide. Steph Evans died. Hardy to Wyn Jones. Shingler. Short line from Elias. And he's into 2 Munster defenders. Fineen Wycherley, the second row, has had an exceptional game for Munster as well. The Scarlets, they got possession, Philippa, but this is kind of what we've seen. Just can't get over the gain line.
No.
And a heck of a lot of pressure.
Every single initial collision is a dominant one by Munster, which is putting them, Scarlets, in an awful body position to, 1, try and protect, or 2, to be able to make any kind of gain line advantage. It's just those initial collisions from Munster are really good.
It's an advantage for knock-on. A bit of fallout in back play as well. Dan Jones involved again. He's got the ball in his hands now. No options. No one running an angle for him. And Munster pouring through again. Absolutely relentless. Johnny McNichol.
Play on, that's just backwards.
That's gone backwards. Jonathan Davis somehow gets his hands on the ball and drives through 1 tackle. Hardy to Ryan Elias. Spins out of 1, finds a gap. Has he got any support? Sean Evans alongside him. A long way to go. And he's a bit isolated. Does well just to stay on his feet. Now it's a contest. O'Donoghue comes pouring through. Steph Evans clobbered. Lloyd Ashley throws a ball. Dan Evans thinks he spotted a gap. Rogers after it. Back there is Shane Daly. He's under pressure.
You've got to release the man on the floor. We have to release the man on the floor.
Scarlets fans want a penalty. They're not going to get it. Dan Jones again involved in the contact.
Use it.
Paddy Patterson clears and takes a sting out of another Scarlets attack.
Got to give credit there to Ryan Elias with that break. It was only a handful of phases earlier. He was absolutely annihilated by a double-up tackle from Munster. Yeah, he put his hand up again, rode the initial tackle and managed to spin out of it. It's just a shame there wasn't one of the wingers on his shoulder. Could have really made something of that.
And no surprise that that man has been chosen as the URC player of the match. Chris Cloherty, what a performance, Philippa.
Player of the match, but I dare say by many Scarlets.
And he knows it, and he knows it. Look at him smiling, straight down the barrel. Well deserved. And he's got no guarantee of starting next week.
Nope.
That's the competition they've got in Munster.
Yeah. Which was potentially a catalyst towards the performance that we saw from him today. But it certainly was at the heart of everything good that Munster did, was that man.
There's Johnny Williams in midfield. He's made an impact. Trying to catch the Welsh coach's eye. Ooh, well, that's got Aaron Shingler in the eye.
Real quicker, lads. We're affecting the delivery of the ball. Got to roll quick.
Ironic cheers from the Scarlets faithful. They've got a penalty. Really can't see the Scarlets getting anything from this game. They've only got 1 try. They've got a big deficit of 30 points. Not going to score 3 tries, are they, Philippa, in the last 5 minutes?
No. And we said, didn't we, about 30 minutes in on the first half, they've got to try and be more clinical because this game could run away from them. And then they went for the penalty points instead of going for the line out. But then Munster, 2 or 3 minutes before the end of the first half, they went for the line out and they took the try. And then the game just ran away.
Missed tackles by the Scarlets, 21. Everything has been tough. Have they lost that? Munster have pinched that ball as well.
Stay on side.
Scarlets unfortunately not been at the races at home.
The ball wasn't out, fella. That's you, Black.
Scarlets get another chance in the Munster 22. That's Paddy Patterson, replacement scrum half.
You're all stepping in, lads.
It's a free kick for the Scarlets. And Shingler takes it, finds Will Griff John on a carry, on the trundle. What have they got? Have they got a score in them? Johnny McNichol, oh, trying to out to the back of the hand pass. I'm not entirely sure that was a penalty. It is a penalty advantage as Blade Thompson looks to take it. Offloads to Steph Evans, spins out of one. Looks for someone on his shoulder.
You get the number, Ben.
Where is that ball for Kieran Hardy? Scarlets have had to work so hard for any clean ball. McNichol, Sean Evans in midfield with the offload. Back the Scarlets are going, but back we will come. Time is off. We'll have another look at that incident.
Just need to check this.
Yeah, Johnny McNichol does very well to entice both the outside backs there.
Yeah.
But just as he tries to get it, that out the back door pass, there was a hand involved, whether it's deemed part of the tackle or not. So that's the first evasion here. Oh.
It's coming up now for you.
So what they're going to be looking for here, is it
Are you watching the
part of the
footage
tackle?
now?
Yeah.
Okay, here you go. This
So
is the tackle
intention
just
to
coming
make
up now.
the tackle, or there's their intention to try and get that ball. For me, I'm thinking the Munster's eyes, that player, his eyes are very much looking at the ball and not the person that he is tackling, which for me, I'd say that.
Okay, mate, so
That's
just take it back and just rock and roll it. So have we got contact on the ball before he's made any contact with the player there?
So contact on the ball before the player, is he involved in the tackle or not before the contact's made?
Deliberate knock on, agree?
I don't agree, to be honest. I think it's just in the action of the tackle. He has his arm up to tackle to wrap and makes a clean wrap. I don't see that as a deliberate knock on.
Guys, what are you seeing? You're seeing this as deliberate, yes? Okay, so look, we've dealt with it on field as a deliberate knock on, Paddy, all right?
Yeah.
Okay, I need to see the wide shot, please, just to see if we're looking at more than just a penalty here.
I agree. I do think it's deliberate. I think whenever a player comes off their winger, so leaves someone else outside and comes in, they are looking to affect that situation. Yeah, that leading arm.
Okay, so, yeah, clearly...
Disagreement between the officiating
there, so
team.
we're not looking at
Not for the
anything
first
more
time.
there.
No, thanks. Just stick to your penalty, I think.
So penalty, yeah, do you agree? You happy? Penalty only? Yeah. No, it's not in the tackle because he's made contact with the ball before he's made any contact on the man. So I understand that, but his arm is out. So it's a deliberate knock-on and it's a penalty. Okay?
Okay, just a penalty, no yellow card, no penalty try.
Penalty.
And in the big scheme of things,
give him
it's
a
not
mark,
going to
Ben.
make
Just
that much difference.
Yep.
It's going to give the Scarlets a chance to put another one in the corner, but we've been here before, Philippa.
We have, unfortunately, on many occasions.
Right, use the... As you are. As you are.
It's great to have fans back at rugby, but I don't think the Scarlets fans will have enjoyed this afternoon. There's two balls on the field. The whistle should have gone to stop play. But the Scarlets, well, it doesn't matter. I think if there was 3 balls on the field, things just wouldn't go their way this afternoon. Good clearance kick there from Paddy Patterson. Was he inside? Was he outside? Scarlets complaining. 3 minutes on the clock. There's another ball on. Should have really blown. It's a bit dangerous. But with 3 minutes left and 3 minutes, Philippa, let's get your assessment of what we've seen at Parker Scarlets today.
Well, first of all, I need to say credit to Munster. I'm really loving seeing the evolution of their game plan. They are not just a line out, stick it at your jumper, go for territory. They have that expansive game. I think a lot of that was down to Ben Healy really taking his opportunities at fly half. Scarlets, I'm afraid to say, same story as the last 2 rounds. Missed tackles, especially around the ruck area, have really been their Achilles heel today. They just need to be more clinical with the ball that they have. They look exciting when they can keep the ball alive and they can play with tempo, but they just weren't looking after it enough at the ruck area to be able to create that momentum and play that style. So still plenty for Dwayne Peel and his management to be working on with the Scarlets.
Some have seen enough for Parker Scarlets. This is a neck roll. Lloyd Ashley has got him just around the neck. Just clearing Alex Kendellen out of the tackle area. What's the penalty count? Well, it's in Scarlets' favour. 13 by Munster, 7 against the Scarlets. And they've had the chance to go to the corner. They've gone to the corner but haven't come away with any points. And inevitably, Munster, when they've been down here, they have come away with points. A converted try would get them up to the half-century mark at Parker Scarlets. Not what anybody expected, but a great performance by the Munstermen. And I can assure you, they want another score. Wycherley. Fineen Wycherley, that is because both brothers are on. Josh is on as well. Kendellen going forward.
Red Hawk straight in the side, 17.
But Josh, the other brother, Wycherley, penalised for a little discrepancy. I think it was entry there. Dan Jones gone for distance. He hasn't found the far touchline discrepancy. I think it was entry there. Dan Jones gone for distance. He hasn't found the far touchline. Good counter.
Play on.
Picking that up is Kevin O'Byrne, I think, has got his mitts on the ball. It's a countdown, seconds left. Munster don't have to play anymore. Do they want to play anymore? As the clock turns red, the answer is no, because Paddy Patterson is going to shunt this into the stands. They've seen enough. I think the Scarlets fans have seen enough. It's a quite subdued atmosphere. Bit more of a fallout on field between the players. But there's only one winner in the final match of round 3 of the URC, and that is the men from Limerick. It's Munster 43, the Scarlets 13.